Hi, welcome guys to SoccerBeat. We've got another episode here for you, and this episode I'm really looking forward to. I've got Tsepo Masilela with us, and Tsepo is perfect for this episode. He's probably the only man in South Africa who's won 4 league titles, 2 with Kaizer Chiefs and 2 with Maccabi Haifa in Israel, and played in La Liga with Getafe. Now, this episode is about a subject that's very important to me, and it's how Kaizer Chiefs are going to do this season. And I'm going to tell you something now. I believe that Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4 this season. I believe Kaizer Chiefs can finish in the top 4 this season. And I'm going to give you 6. Sep, I'm going to give you 6 reasons why I believe Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4 this season. Now, before we go any further, I want to tell the viewers one thing. At the end of the show, I've got a big surprise for you. I'm doing something with Tsepo that'll blow your mind. But we'll come to that at the end of the show. So, Tsepo, I want an answer from you. I'm saying Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4 at the end of the season. Give me a straight answer. A yes, you agree with me? A no, or yes, but?
It's a yes, but, Peter. But.
Yes, but. Yeah. All right. But then I'm going to take this a little bit further. Let me tell you something else. Quite frankly, it's crazy. If Kaizer Chiefs fans out there, it's actually crazy that we're really having this discussion, that we're talking about this huge club. It's like Man United. They shouldn't be having the discussion, can United qualify for Europe? Can Kaizer Chiefs finish in the top 4? It should be taken as a given, a huge club like this. But both, like United, Chiefs are also coming off a kind of bad base. But I believe Chiefs can come in the top 4. And if they don't come in the top 4, Nabi's got to at least do a Ten Hag and bring 1 trophy. At the very least. But anyway, so let's jump in. Do you agree with me there, by the way? Let's give you a yes, no, or a bet that he should at least come with a trophy this season, even if they don't get in the top 4. Would you give
yes, I agree. I agree with you. It's a pity that he lost out on the top 8 because they finished outside of the top 8 bracket. It would have been nice for him also to get a test of the top 8, but it is what it is.
But, okay, I think you avoided the question, but in my book, the Chiefs fans deserve at least a Ten Hag, at least 1 trophy of the season. They deserve that. A big club.
I agree with you.
Okay, there we're on the same page. All right. So let me give you my 6 reasons why I believe Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4. The first reason, number 1 reason I believe they'll finish in the top 4 is the Yanga defeat was a wake-up call for Nabi. Think about it. They've been doing preseason. I give them 10 out of 10. They didn't play a poor team. They played a top team, one of the best teams in Africa. I was very impressed with Yanga. And from that game, if you play a small team, you don't see where your real weaknesses are. When you play a top team, you get exposed. And Yanga exposed Chiefs. The score should have been more than 4-0. What did it show? Let's see if you agree with me. It showed Chiefs were not physical enough. There wasn't enough bite in the team. They were weak defensively. They needed a holding midfielder who like a Nenga Marsha type player. And we actually said they should be looking at Blom or Zungu. We'll come back to that. Mart was playing in a kind of Pirlo role where he gets the ball and sprays passes. With all due respect to Mart, he's no Pirlo. He got exposed there. So and we got showboating from young players. They weren't physical enough. Those weaknesses were very clear. On the positive side, what he saw as well was that the team, you can play on the front foot. The wingers got wide. They tried to attack. They left themselves exposed. So he got a very clear picture. And what I'm getting from inside the Chiefs camp is that he's taken those lessons on board and he's worked the team from basically a 0 to kind of what he wants it to be. But it's a long way to go. But that Yanga game, I think, was a wake-up call. And if you didn't want them to get a wake-up call in the 3rd or 4th game of the season, your comments on that Yanga game being a wake-up call?
Yes, definitely, Peter. I would agree with you also on that one. The kind of opponent they played in that game, top class team that's always competing in the Champions League in Africa. So it's a game that gave them a wake-up call in a sense that, okay, after the game you can sit back and say, this is where I think we're lacking. These are the reinforcements we need to get. So it helped them going forward in terms of getting the new players that they got after that game. If you look at the list, the Sirino joined, we're hearing Blom has joined. They also got Bradley cross the left back, so it was a good game for the coach to gauge the squad, going forward.
And I think the critical thing from that game is what I've heard from the sources that I know at the club, that one of the key factors he brought home to the players was the Yanga is where we want to be. So that's the yardstick they can look at. If you want to be a top team in Africa, that's where you've got to be. So something to aim for. The second reason why I genuinely believe that Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top four, and that's Gaston Sirino. I think that is going to be one of the bargain signings of the season when it comes from a transfer fee, because he was free. I know straight away some people are going to go, oh no, it's going to be another Sundowns reject coming, and it's going to be a Billiot situation and a Castro situation. But let me tell you something, Billiot did well initially. He didn't do badly initially. Torrealba, when he came to Chiefs, did well initially. Castro, I don't think they should have signed Castro. But going back to Sirino, he's a different character. He's a fighter. He's got something to prove. He can play 7, 10, 11. He's a creative player. He scores goals. He's won things. He's a player, and he's a player that will lift the rest of the team. He's a match winner. He's a 10. I don't know what you think, but I really believe that he's the marquee signing. He's the guy in the last third that is going to make the difference for me. I think he's going to be fantastic for Dupree, by the way. But that's my second reason. I don't know what you think about it, if you agree or disagree.
Yeah, the Serena situation, for a lot of people, it goes back to what you've just said when you mentioned the Billiard and Castro. At some point we had Mpela from Sundowns when I was still at Chiefs.
But he was injured.
But look,
they signed an injured player there.
No, he was not injured when he got there. He was fit. He got injured at Kaizer Chiefs. I remember I was still there.
Okay.
But going back to Sirino, I like how they managing everything, that they trying to get good players in the team also to help him, to be that star player, because he can't do it alone. In football you can't do it alone. As much as we know his qualities, what he brings to the team. He's won league titles with Sundowns. But I like how they're going on about business, making sure that the whole team, is strong. It's not gonna be a case of the spotlight or the pressure is only on Sirino to perform, and if the team doesn't do well, it's only Sirino. I like how they bring in guys, that are, in my opinion, great signings. If Blom is there, we know what he brings.
We'll come back to Blom. Let's just finish on Sirino. The big thing I would ask you is, does Sirino improve the team? That's the question.
Yes, definitely does improve the team.
He brings to the team that they don't have right now is that creativity in the last third, who can make goals and score goals. And he's going to take a lot of pressure off those young players up front. And I think you're going to see Shabalala and a few other players really come to the fore with him in the front. So I think that's the second reason. The third reason we've already spoken about. It was completely obvious. And we in one of our shows, one of our earlier shows, we highlighted it straight after the Yanga game. Chiefs needed a holding midfielder. And we said, should they sign Zungu or should they sign Blom? And we said the guy they should sign is Blom. He knows the club. He's played in that position. He knows the PSL. He's gained experience overseas. Blom is a top signing. And that, to me, is the third reason why Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top four, because he's almost the missing piece in that jigsaw. You've got him holding the midfield together. They've got a good creative players. He's a Bafana player. I think he'll get back into that Bafana squad. And I think he gives them great balance. They missed him. They should never let him go. They couldn't come to terms with him and his agent, Rob Moore. They've missed him. I think, like Sirino, he's going to improve that team. And I also think, incidentally, Inacio Miguel, they signed from Angola. I think I would put him as a part B of the third reason why they're going to do well. If you look at his record, by the way, Tsepo, it's actually a bit dodgy. He's played all over the place, one season there, one season there. And at Petro, which is at their Kaizer Chiefs, he played a league game. He played in CAF games and cup games. But the Angolan players that I know in South Africa told me, number one, the coach didn't like him. And they told me he's a top player. And they told me he'll do very well. So if I look at his record, I've got a question mark. But I haven't seen him play. When I talk to Angolans, I say he's going to be a great signing. So can you imagine he can play central midfield holding as well, which they could maybe play two. Always behind Blom, good in the air, physically strong. He brings that extra dimension to the Kaizer Chiefs defense and that central pairing there. So I think Blom, absolutely the third reason, and possibly a 3.5 reason there as well with Big Blob. But I think you agree with me there. I've got you there.
We did speak about that holding midfield position, and we mentioned Blom, as you said, with Bongani, and we all agreed that if we had to choose between the two, we'll go for Blom. And here we are. They went for Blom, and he's back in the country. Again, also for him as a player individually, it's a perfect time for him to to try and get back to the Bafana team.
Correct. So well done, Kaizer Chiefs. You listened to us. You went for Blom. Listen, guys, we're going to take a quick ad break from our sponsors, Betway. We sponsor the PSL League as well. Please come back. We got the other three. We got numbers 4, 5, and 6 to discuss with you, and then we got something special coming from Tsepo.
To all our believers,
to the gunners of Kappa,
to our drivers at Stoker's Arms,
to the believers at the Brazen Head,
to Langa,
to Kwamashu,
I'm back.
we hear you.
Now hear us.
Siabonga.
Thank you.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Welcome back to myself, Peter du Toit, and Tsepo Masilela, and it's SoccerBeat, and we're talking the 6 reasons why Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to follow us and share, and also follow us on our social media platforms. Right. The other reason why I believe that Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4, and I call it the Nabi factor, and it's a very important factor, the Nabi factor. If you look at his record, he's been around. He's an experienced coach. I think he's in his late 50s right now. He's an experienced coach. He's been to 2 top teams in Sudan. So he's coached big teams. He's been at Rabat, which is a top team, and he won the league in with a top team in Tanzania. So he's won the league. And he's coached big teams. South Africa is a different situation because we've got Sundowns who seem to be ahead of the pack, and we've got Pirates who seem to have also pushed ahead, and then we obviously got top teams like SuperSport and so on. But Nabi, I think he reminds me of the coach from what I hear. He reminds me of the coach from Spurs in the English Premier League. Is that Chiefs are going to play off the front foot, and they're going to play football that's attacking, and they're going to be smart at the back, but they're going to play attacking football, good football. And I think if the fans see good football, they'll immediately be on the side of Chiefs, and that in itself will be a big boost. And so I think that Nabi factor, his personality, his positivity, is going to be a big difference, because your coach, as you know, makes a big difference to the team. If you're a positive guy, players respond, fans respond. And I think we've heard enough kind of negativity from Chiefs coaches in the past. I don't know the players, etc. They don't do what I say. Don't do what I say at training. They don't listen to me, and so on and so forth. Whereas Nabi, even after that Yanga defeat, was a breath of fresh air. I don't know. You obviously are in touch with a lot of the Kaizer Chiefs. You're an ex-player. You know more than me about what's going on in the camp. What have you heard about the Nabi factor?
Nabi factor, Peter, as you said, there are teams that is coached and has been around Africa, the continent. So it's not someone that's new to pressure. You throw him in this situation, I'm sure he'll be able to handle the pressure and expectations of the Kaizer Chiefs fans. And again, as a coach, you need a buy-in from the players. If the players don't buy into your ideas, your philosophy, your style of play, then nothing will work, Peter. The coach and the players, they need to work hand in hand. So if he's got that from the players, the buy-in from the players, and again, and as you mentioned, the style of play, that he wants to play on the front foot, he wants to attack. And the Kaizer Chiefs fans, they would love to see that. They would love to see a Kaizer Chiefs team that's scoring goals, that's winning 3-0, bringing the smiles back to the fans. So if he can get that right, the buy-in from the players, and the players understand the coach, you as a player, you want the coach that you'd say, listen, guys, this coach, I would die for this coach in the field of play. So hopefully we'll get that from the players with the Nabi factor. They can, be on the same page and get things going.
I think he's already shown that he's a positive coach. So, and the reports I'm hearing that the players are responding, and I think that's a big part. we're going to take a short break from a competition break, and we'll hear who the competition winners are. We'll be back with you shortly.
It's congratulations to the latest winners right here on SoccerBeat. 6 winners of the new Kappa Kaizer Chiefs jersey. Montle Mpho, Ntabeleng Pui, Zizo the God, Mawabo Christian Mahobe, Brafo Kwalekhosi, Masivuye Tokile 3968. Those are the 6 latest winners of the Kappa Kaizer Chiefs competition. Please look out on our socials for more competitions at SoccerBeat ZA, and make sure you follow all the instructions to stand a chance to win. T's and C's apply.
Welcome back, guys. And the fifth reason why we say Kaizer Chiefs will finish in the top 4 is, let's look at that top 4, who can be in the top 4. First of all, you got Sundowns and Kaizer and Orlando Pirates are definitely there. I think you've got to put Stellies in the mix as well. They've done exceptionally well. If you look at resources, Chiefs should be more favourites to finish higher up than Stellies under normal circumstances. But if you look at the progress that teams made, despite the fact that they've been selling players, they will put them in a guaranteed top 4 position. But I've got question marks there as well, but let's leave that. Then let's look at who else could be in there. There's Supersport, there's TS Galaxy and Cape Town City, and Sekhukhune. In my opinion, Sekhukhune are not going to be a top 4 team this season, Tsepo. They've lost a lot of players, coaching situations. Makocho, I think, was a big loss to them. I'm not sure how many games he played last season. But what are your thoughts on Sekhukhune? Do you see them as a top 4 team this season?
Siema is back at Sekhukhune. You know, he's the coach that did well last season. You know, I think when he joined, they were outside the top 10. Even, you know, he did well and he put them in that position. So he's a coach that's familiar with the team. He knows the team and he knows the players. So I can't really write them out of the mix.
Well, we don't have a magic wand, but I'm telling you now, if they finish in the top 4 this season, I'll do the show with my top off season, and no one wants to see. If you look at Supersport, and that's no disrespect to Sekhukhune, I think they excelled themselves last season, and I mean I don't think it was right how CMO was treated after that. But let's look at, then you've got TS Galaxy, a team that's done exceptionally well. They beat Chiefs in friendlies, but forget friendlies. Friendlies don't count. They've lost a couple of players. They've lost their goalkeeper. The coach did exceptionally well. Like Sekhukhune, I don't think they're going to finish in the top 4. They didn't finish in the top 4. I don't think they'll challenge for a top 4 position. That leaves you Cape Town City and Supersport. Let's look at Supersport. If you look at the squads, Gavin, who I know very well, Gavin Hunt moans about all the players he's lost. He's lost quality players again. If you look at the 2 squads right now, I believe the Kaizer Chiefs squad is a better squad than the Supersport squad. Your thoughts?
It's a
Yes,
tough one,
no,
you know.
maybe.
Yes. Looking at the signings Kaizer Chiefs got, you know, I think yes, slightly better.
Okay. Then there comes Cape Town City. Cape Town City have made some very, very good signings, and we've watched a lot of them. Well, we've watched more games than we've seen of Kaizer Chiefs. But if I look at the 2 squads, now that they've signed Blom, yes, Cape Town City have got Makocho, but there's, I think, very little to choose between those 2 teams right now.
Yes, very little. And the plus with Cape Town City, they still have the same coach who's been there for the past 2-3 years. So that's also plays a huge factor in the team. But yes, plus minus the same team.
Correct. So the big challenger for a top 4 position this season is going to be Cape Town City. Now,
And
that's
Super
not...
Sports.
Sorry?
And Super Sports.
Well, I think Supersport will come in. I think Supersport will come 5 or 6 this season. That's my opinion. I think but to make my point clear, is that a top 4 position is not impossible given who else is fighting for that top 4. And that's the point I make. And I think at the end of the season, Chiefs will have longer legs than Supersport and longer legs than Cape Town City, simply because they've got a better squad. right now, and Cape Town City got to do a lot more traveling. It's a lot harder for Cape teams to win a league. It's a lot harder. And I think with Nabi, that positive effect that he'll bring to the club, I think they will be in the top 4. But the point I'm making is that their opposition, it's not like last season where there was no chance of them making the top 4. Last season, I said the Chiefs won't come 5th. If they're lucky, they'll come 6th. So that prediction was proved correct last season. I looked at basically on the coach and the players that signed. This season, it's a different kettle of fish, which is a strange expression, but I think there's no big opposition with the current squad they got that can stop them coming in the top 4. Top 6, sit definite. If Chiefs don't come in the top 6, Tsepo, what do we say?
Again, you're gonna do a show with your top off.
So you don't think they're going to come in the top 6? I'll tell you what, if they don't come in the
top 6, they should be there.
Okay, if they don't come in the top 6, we're both doing the show with that top off.
Okay. Top 6 definitely should be there.
All right. Then the final reason, and this reason is very encouraging reason for the Kaizer Chiefs fans. A very encouraging reason. The bottom line is, if you look at what's their big problem? They can't score goals, but their real big problem was away form. If you look at the table, the away form table, they were 3rd bottom, I think. Yeah, they were 3rd bottom on the away form table, just above the relegation zone. 4th bottom, I'm sorry. Away form, it was Cape Town Spurs, Richards Bay, TS Galaxy. They hardly scored any goals. How does a team like Kaizer Chiefs that never really has an away game have such away form? It is impossible for them to have such a bad away form season. And if they improve their away form considerably, because they should, if they perform the away form towards the way Cape Town City, and Sekhukhune, they will be in the top 4. It's a very simple thing to fix up. And with Blom there, it's a big reason why their away form will be better, because that holding midfield, I don't have to tell you that. I mean, what do you think? Away form, can they fix that?
Definitely they can fix that. Again, we'll touch on the players they've signed. They made a huge statement with the signings and with the coach they have. So once they start well and they get the fans again, in their side, and the excitement, the buzz in the stadium, I'm sure they'll fix that. It should be fixed, Peter. It should be, definitely. You can't have such a record for a team like Kaizer Chiefs.
Well, why I'm so confident about the 6 points, we'll go over them. The first 4 are undisputed. The last 2, which we're talking about right now, there's no ways that Chiefs can have as bad a away form as they had last season. Nabi will definitely fix that. And if he fixes the away form, my prediction on the top 4 gets pushed into the same place. So our reasons number 5 and 6 work together. And I think, but all the other reasons like Blom, Sirino, the Yanga effect, all of those things play a great role in them coming in the top 4. So guys out there, Kaizer Chiefs fans, tell us what you think on the comments. Let us know. And on our social media platforms, do you agree with us that Chiefs will finish in the top 4? And if they don't, what should happen? Or do you see a top 6? But by the way, Chiefs fans, I wouldn't be satisfied unless it was a top 4. You're a big club. You guys deserve better. You deserve top 4. You deserve challenging for the league. Don't you agree, Tsepo? Chiefs should be challenging for a league title.
Definitely, people are used to Kaizer Chiefs, winning trophies. But again, looking at where they finished, if they can close the gap and they get the top 4 finish, it will be a huge positive sign going forward. You first have to close that gap and be there.
I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll admit to that. And if I was a Man United fan and a Kaizer Chiefs fan, I'd be saying, listen, our club, we're not going to keep rebuilding. Now's the time that we're in the top 4 again. And when you're in the top 4, the next step is your challenge for the league. Now, let me go to what I've been waiting for big time. Is I'm going to ask this man who's played against some of the greatest players in the world. Believe me, it's a thing we're going to do at the end of a lot of shows. It's called Winner, the Last Man Standing. The winner stays in. Tsepo's given me the list of the best players he's played against. This list is unbelievable. The best players that he's played against is the who's who of world football. It's uncanny. Obviously, a lot of it from Bafana and a lot of it from when he was playing for Getafe in the La Liga. So we're going to work quickly at Tsepo. First of all, I'm going to give you the names, and then you're going to say, and these are players that Tsepo's played against. Okay. Clayt versus Modise.
Modise.
Modise versus Tembazwani.
Modise.
Modise versus Cavani.
Modise.
Wow. Okay. Modise versus Torres.
Torres.
Okay. Torres versus Ozil.
Ozil.
Ozil versus Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry.
Okay. Thierry Henry versus Sanchez.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry versus Robin. One of my favorite players.
I'll go with Robin. He played,
Okay, Robin versus
strictly
Di
on the
Maria.
right.
Robin versus Di Maria.
Robin.
Wow. Robin versus Iniesta.
Iniesta.
Okay, Iniesta versus Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo versus Messi.
Ronaldo.
No! Okay, that's incredible. Guys, what a list of players that this man has played against. About you. My list of players that I played against is not going to touch your list of players that I played against. Top class. Tsepo, thanks very much. We loved it, guys. Please come let us know what you felt about our views on Kaizer Chiefs in the top four. Even Sundowns fans and Pirates fans, have a go at us. We don't mind. Tsepo, appreciate it. Say thanks to the guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
SoccerBeat, ouça!